Welcome to Dual Diagnosis Anonymous. My name is Johnny, and I am dual diagnosed, and I'll be facilitating this meeting. Can we please take a moment of silence while about a serenity prayer? God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I know this video is a little bit late, but I had to postpone it for a minute because it's been a very busy week for me. But regardless of how busy it was, I wanted to make sure that I took out the time today to make sure that I posted this video so that would nobody miss what we discussed on Friday. So just bear with me. And like I said, don't. Sometimes we get, things don't go as planned. But it didn't stop us from having the meeting. It just kind of postponed the video. So that's why I'm making it today. It's Sunday. I got to go back to work tonight. So this is more important. This is really important to me that those of you that can't make it to the meetings but would like watching these videos, it's important that I make sure that I continue to carry the message through video. I got to do what God has called me to do. And today I want to talk about the Dr. Phil show. I watch Dr. Phil a lot. He really motivates me. The stories and the people motivates me. And Friday there was a lady that she was married to her soulmate. She poured everything into her relationship with her husband. Her husband suddenly died. And when he did, she died with him. And she did not realize it. She just shut down. She lost herself. Physically, she was there for her children, but emotionally, she wasn't. So her daughter brought her to the Dr. Phil show to kind of help her so that Dr. Phil can help her to see the damage that she caused. And in the segment, while they was trying to point out to her the things that she was doing that she wouldn't normally do, she said something interesting. She said that, she explained that how when her husband passed, it affected her emotionally, physically, in all areas of her life. She said, I lost myself. She said that my daughters don't understand what I've been through and what I'm going through. She submerged herself with drugs, pills, and alcohol. That's the way that she coped. But once she lost herself, she didn't know how to come back from it. That's what was interesting to me. She didn't know how to come back from it. And then regardless of what her own daughters was trying to show her, she couldn't see it. Because that's what happens when you lose yourself. You become disconnected with reality. And you can't see what other people are trying to point out to you, especially those that love you the most. It always takes somebody neutral. That's why I became an advocate, so that I can point out to people where they're going, where they went wrong, but I also point them in the right direction. And the only reason that I'm able to do that is because I know what this lady feels like. I lost myself way back in the day. I forgot about who I was, and it was hard for me to come back. So today, I want to talk about how to reconnect with yourself. Because once you lose yourself, you really don't bounce back from it unless you actually start working on yourself. So I hope that this helps someone today to understand how important it is. Because when you lose yourself, you stop doing the things that you once enjoyed doing. You think about it, but physically you won't do it. That's when you know that you've lost yourself. You lost yourself when you get time to yourself and you can't handle it because you don't like what you see. That's when you know that you lost yourself. You pray for time alone, you pray for peace in your life, and then when you get it, we don't know what to do with it. that's when you know that you done lost yourself. You feel like you got to have somebody around all the time. You don't feel like you can be by yourself. But see, when you find yourself, you'll realize that you shouldn't have a problem with being to yourself. You can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it, within boundaries. So for those of you that can relate to this lady like me, today my topic is how to reconnect with yourself. How do you reconnect with yourself? Well, you ask yourself daily, how am I doing? Instead of worrying about how someone else is doing. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, how are you doing? Try not to judge your emotions or yourself for feeling them. Number 3, sit in silence without scrolling on your phone, without listening to music, without doing anything other than listening to your heartbeat. Number 4, practice a guided meditation every evening. Sometimes, due to the circumstances, a big life change, the dissolving of a long-term relationship, a health issue, or other reasons, we realize we have lost touch with our true self. During these times, we often experience feeling frustrated, scared for the future, anxious, unfulfilled, and stuck. We feel lost because at some point we become disconnected with who we really are. This often occurs as adults try to fit themselves into societal norms, relationships, expectations, or just trying to survive to such a degree that there is not the capacity to focus on anything else. To protect ourselves, we may tuck away our true nature and shut the door so we can just get through what we have to get through. At some point, most of us realize we need to reconnect with ourselves, start loving ourselves, and move forward. Allowing ourselves to remain disconnected and stuck in the pain of the past will not help us to achieve the love and happiness we so deserve. It is now that we need to make a conscious choice to shift our perspective and reconnect to our true nature of our true self. Each of us have the power to change within us. Each time we take responsibility for ourselves through the conscious actions that aligns us with who we really are, or through expressing our passions, strengths, values, and desires, we become more whole. To do this, we must stop searching outside of ourselves for love and fulfillment and reconnect to our inner being to rediscover and remember who we are. The following steps are important actions we can take to do just that. The first one is self-honesty. Be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. What do you excel at? And what do you need to work on? We're all at a work in progress. Everyone has things they need to work on. Own our weaknesses just as much as we own our strengths. You are the whole package. Own it all. It is what makes you you. Be honest with yourself about what you are thinking and feeling. It may not reflect how you or what state you would like to be in right now, but identify where you are. Use it as a launching pad to move you forward. Staying in the denial helps no one. Awareness allows you to move forward and implement positive change. Self-acceptance. Accepting self is important. Now that you have been honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses, accept that this is where you are right now. Be kind to yourself. There are reasons, circumstances, and experiences that have brought you to be who you are today. Explore those as well. While you may have areas for improvement, you also have many positive characteristics, strengths, abilities, things others admire about you. Be honest with yourself about those too. Own your greatness as much as own your weakness. You are the whole package, the sum of the parts. You are exactly who you need to be right now. Accept yourself so that you can then move forward and make improvements in the areas you desire in order to reach your goals. Focus on the positives. We carry some degree of self-hatred. However, to focus on those feelings is not healthy or helpful. Focus on loving self-thoughts and positive affirmations. Notice your thoughts. When you find yourself mentally beating up on yourself, stop. Pull out a positive affirmation and start repeating it. Consciously change your thinking. Your subconscious mind will accept anything you tell it. Think big, think positive. Slow down your pace. Meditate and express compassion towards yourself. In your meditative moment, find a place of calm and peace within you, and you will find calm and peace. You will notice that calm and peace will start to surround you. Reach out and expand this peace and love to others in your life. What you focus your attention on will expand in your life as well. Focus on the positives. Cut yourself some slack. Everyone makes mistakes. It is part of the learning process. We're all here to evolve and learn. Part of the learning process is to make mistakes. None of us are perfect. No one goes through life without pain. Forgive yourself. Stop beating yourself up over the past thoughts, words, and actions. Stop judging yourself so harshly. You are not the first one to have made that mistake, and certainly you will not be the last. Learn from the lesson. Move on, let go, and resolve to do better the next time. If you write it down, then burn it as a symbolic release of the mistake and of the guilt. Each of us does the best we can based on our level of understanding at the time. Become comfortable in your own skin. Schedule some alone time for yourself and practice being comfortable in your own skin. Turn off the television, disconnect from the internet and the phone. Stop using external stimulus as distractions from having to learn to be with yourself or, in fact, just be. Plan routine alone time for periods of meditation, contemplation, and introspection. Be mindful of the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you have about yourself and explore the reasons behind these while you are contemplating. Identify the obstacles you are facing that are preventing you from loving and reconnecting with yourself. What is causing these obstacles? How can you work through them? Get to know your true nature. Ask yourself, who are you at the core of your being? What are the top 3 deeply held characteristics that define who you are? Even if you do not show those characteristics to others. Love yourself, all parts, and embrace who you are. Get comfortable and learn, and you will learn how to enjoy spending time alone with yourself. Be grateful. Gratitude is a powerful practice. Every morning, count your blessings by implementing a gratitude practice. Writing in a gratitude journal at least 5 things you are grateful for each day. Make at least one of those things something specifically about who you are, a characteristic, a quality, an improvement, a lesson learned. Be proud of who you are and be grateful for the things that have made you the person you are today. No matter how painful those experiences may have been at the time, if there is something you do like about yourself, examine it and find the silver lining. Help others. Nothing helps us shift our energy faster than being of service to someone else. Volunteer at a food pantry, a shelter. Set a goal to practice random acts of kindness daily by doing small and large things to help those in your family, your neighborhood, and your community. Share yourself with others. Where you find it helps you will find it helps you just as much as it helps them. As you give of yourself to another, you share love, which results in experiencing a sense of fulfillment. When you are feeling fulfilled, you can be true to yourself and realize you don't need another to complete you. You are completed already. You are enough just the way that you are. Through helping another, you are also being the best caretaker of you. No matter what you have recently been through, that caused you to lose yourself. Now is the time to pick up the pieces and rediscover who you are. We each possess the ability to change our lives' trajectory within us. Use these steps to assess where you are, reconnect, and take positive steps forward. And the past is the past. Let it await you if you choose to move forward. Periodically revisit these steps to keep you aligned and connected with who you truly are. Keep your focus on the positive and love yourself. Remember, no outside source can make you feel happy and fulfilled. Those experiences come from within. By being true to yourself, you are then able to experience your life, dreams, and desires with tremendous passion and joy. I wanted to talk about that because if it wasn't for recovery, if it wasn't for BOW walking in and finding me at the lowest of my lowest, I don't know where I would be today. Probably wouldn't even be here. But thanks to him, this man that had total compassion for a complete stranger, who saw somebody laid flat out on their back with no place to go due to the circumstances of my life. He didn't judge me. He picked me up and he took me everywhere he went. He taught me what he knew. And when he did that, he also taught me the 12 steps. And by teaching me the 12 steps, he walked with me, showing me how to reconnect with who I am. And I'll tell anybody, because I've had a lot of people ask me, how did I come back from that state of mind? I remembered where I came from. I had to go all the way back to Tallahassee, Oklahoma, and remember the things that I once enjoyed doing. And as everybody knows me, they know music is my passion. The sound of music, making music sound how I want it to sound. It's my passion. Smoking meat is one of my passions. Cutting lawns is another one. And I had to go back and I had to reconnect with who I was. I had to start doing the things that I once did as an adult. And that's how I was able to reconnect. And what really helped me to reconnect with myself is my boys, Jerron and Trevante, the soul of my life. They never left my mind. No matter what I was doing, they was always with me in my heart and in my soul and in my mind. And I thank God that he blessed me with two wonderful boys. Because the more I thought about them, the more I missed them. And the more I worked on myself, I knew that one day we would be reconnected. And not only did I reconnect with them, I reconnected with myself. But there's a flip side to reconnecting with yourself. Because if you're not careful, your own children can cause you to become disconnected with who you are. Because you'll start investing everything into them, and then when you get time to yourself, you don't know what to do with the time that you have for yourself. And that's another sign that you know that you lost yourself. You can get in a relationship just like this lady did, and you can love on this man and you can love on this woman. You can pour everything into this relationship, but if you don't pour into yourself, you'll find yourself losing yourself. If one person get ready to go out of town or something, you'll start feeling like, what am I going to do while you're gone? Spend time with yourself. Get to know who you are. Take yourself out on a date. Instead of depending on someone else to take you out on a date, take yourself out on a date. Instead of depending on someone else to go to church with you, go to church by yourself. Instead of waiting on someone else to go to a support group meeting, go to a support group meeting for yourself. Start doing things for yourself. And then that way, if you want to introduce someone else to something, you shouldn't have a problem with doing it. One of my philosophies is I'll never take anyone anywhere that I can't go. See, when you know who you are, you know what you would do, you know what you would tolerate, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know who you want to be with, you know who you don't want to be with, you know what you'll put up with, you know what you won't, you know what you won't put up with. You know all of this. You won't second guess yourself. One of my friends they had a little social get together. One of our co-workers that had one of our doctor friends that had moved and to a whole nother state. She came into town, and my friend was like, we was trying to think of people that we can invite to come out and hang out with us, to hang out. And she said, I thought about you. And one of my guy friends that I really like and really enjoy being around said that, don't invite Johnny. Why would you invite Johnny to a bar? And I sat and I told her, when you know who you are, you can go anywhere you choose to. You just won't do the things that you used to do, and it won't even faze you. But see, somebody that don't know themselves or don't trust themselves. See, you can't trust yourself if you don't know yourself. But if you know yourself, you can trust yourself. I don't have a problem with hanging around with people that drink and smoke. It bothers me when people even think that way, but it shows me their level of thinking. I know who I am. I spend a lot of time with me, and I like me. I like me a lot. When I can't depend on nobody else, I can depend on Johnny. Because there was a time when I was codependent. Now I'm independent. I don't have to wait on someone else. I have to make things happen for myself, and it feels good. If I want peace at I wanted a place where I can go to have peace. That's my house. If you got other people in the house with you, you need to have a little area where you can call your she den or your male den or your man cave. See, I have a man cave in my own house because I have to have a place where I can go where I can spend some time alone with me. But don't get me twisted. When I say spend a long time with me, I'm talking about and my creator too. I have to spend time with God because God don't disappoint me. He don't stress me out. He don't trigger me. And I don't mean to offend anyone that's spiritually deprived, but I got to be honest with myself. That's my belief, not yours. If it's not your belief, it's not your belief. But you can't hold that against my beliefs. I couldn't do this by myself. I couldn't do this alone. It took a power greater than myself. And that power greater than myself wasn't in people. It was through people. I knew that God was using Bill W. because he knew exactly what to say to me. When you're lost, you have to know what you're listening for. And I like when Jesus said that my sheep responds to the sound of my voice. And sheep does respond to the shepherd, to the sound of the shepherd's voice. They won't respond to nobody else's voice, but the person that's taking care of them. It's an amazing thing, an analogy that he shows us through his word. Even Jesus understood that dealing with multiple people and multiple personalities, he knew that he had to take time out for himself so that he can reconnect with who he was and his purpose in life. A lot of people don't know what their purpose in life is because, like I said last week, they're afraid of stepping outside of their comfort zone into the unknown so that they can deal with the issues that's preventing them from finding out what their purpose is. Everybody has a purpose. Regardless of what that purpose is, we all have one. So take some time out to reconnect with yourself. Do like I did. A week ago, I took off for 9 days because I found myself losing myself, becoming disconnected. And I needed some alone time. And I just hit the highway. I didn't have I really didn't have no total destination. But I just wanted to get on the road and spend some alone time with me and my creator. And that I did. And I did not come back until I felt like I was ready. And to be honest with you, I'm still reconnecting with who I am. Because when you run a support group, when you're working psych, when you're a healthcare worker and everything, you're working with people with mental health problems and drug addictions. When you work in the field that I work in, you have to take time out for yourself to reconnect with who you are, so that you don't lose footing. And that's what I loved about Jesus. He had to step out because he knew the disciples. He couldn't trust them. He couldn't depend on them. But he knew that he could depend on himself. And one of the things that he said when he went to the garden was stay up for 1 hour. They couldn't even do that. He was showing us that you don't put your faith in man, but you can put your faith in a power greater than yourself. Whatever that may be to you. But that's how you reconnect with who you are. You have to reconnect with a power that created you, because something created us. If you don't believe in God, you got to believe in something created you, and you got to tap into that power, because that's how you reconnect with who you are. You just wasn't born. You're not alive. You're not running by batteries. You're not doing none of that. Something greater is in us. And to be frank, it's called a spirit. And you have to feed your spirit just like you have to feed your body. And that's another place where people go wrong. When you don't know who you are, you'll find yourself feeding your body, but you won't feed your spirit. You got to feed the spirit, because that's how you get to become connected to a power greater than yourself. And that spirit, some people call it a conscious, will protect you. But it can't protect you if it's just as weak as you are. Reconnect with who you are. And I guarantee you will find peace in your life. And you will realize that you don't need a bunch of people around you to have a good time. You'll be able to do things that you've always wanted to do. You'll be able to go places that you've always wanted to go. And I guarantee you will not regret it. But you will regret it if you never make that connection. So just like we do every week, we're closing out with Just for Today. Just for today, I will focus on my DDA recovery program of the 12 steps plus 5. Just for today, I will remain clean and sober, and if I'm taking medications, I would do so as prescribed. Just for today, I will keep an open mind and be willing to listen to the advice of my DDA support group, my prescriber, and my clinician. Just for today, I will allow myself to have faith in someone in the DDA program who has faith in me and my recovery. Just for today, I will have a program. I recognize that I may make mistakes along the way, but I will follow the DDA program to the best of my ability. Just for today, I will utilize the DDA program of shared experiences, strength, solidarity, and hope in order to gain a better perspective on my life. Just for today, I will not dwell on the past nor place undue concern on the future. Just for today, I will not grant fear, worry, space in my thoughts by choosing to live one day at a time, and by following the DDA principles, I need not be afraid. Just for today, I will see how working an honest program is helping others and allow the blessings of my higher power to flow throughout my life. Just for today, I will allow myself to be me. I will accept myself for whom I am and where I am. I will allow others the same courtesy that they may be free to grow and that I may be free from the burden of resentment. Just for today, I will live and let live. If I become unable to do this, then I will place trust in my higher power and remind myself to just let go and let God. Just for today, I will live life on life's terms. And by doing so, I will recognize when I need support for symptoms of my dual diagnosis, or when I'm in danger of relapse, I will seek help from the fellowship of DDA, my higher power, my prescriber, and my clinician. Just for today. Again, take out the time that you need. You have to make time to spend time with yourself so that you can reconnect with who you are. Don't try to go, a little ways back. No, you got to go all the way back to that time when there was no drama in your life. And it always go back to when you was a child. You got to go back as far as you can remember when there was peace in your life, when there was hope in your life, when there was compassion in your life. Because see, me being the only son, I had to create fun for myself. because a lot of the times my sisters couldn't do the stuff that I was doing because I was a boy. Mark, James, Mike, Curtis, Jeff, Marshall, all of them, Shelly, Michelle Foreman, all of them, we know Jackie Flemings, we all played together. But then there was times when I was by myself. And that's when I reconnected with who I was. So I thank God for y'all tuning in on this video. Um, I'm very rested, as far as speaking, but physically I'm still tired because I'm still working 2 jobs, but I'm doing what I got to do. So you got to do what you got to do. God bless you. Have a blessed Labor Day weekend, and we'll talk next week. Bye.